I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's a filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the Village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch. All right.
This is Kanye West, Wouldn't Leave,
Let's check it out.
featuring Party Next Door. Let's check it out now.
I don't feel like she's mine enough. God, I feel I couldn't have you wide enough. With a fly in my wrist, you made pretty woman out of my skin. And I don't feel like, man, I know you wouldn't leave. They said build your own, I said halfway. I said slavery a choice, they said hi, yay. Just imagine if they caught me on a wild day. Now I'm on 50 blogs, getting 50 calls. My wife calling, screaming, say we about to lose it all. Had to calm her down cause she couldn't breathe. Told her she could leave me now, but she wouldn't leave. I know you wouldn't leave. We don't understand today. We can wait more and release. Yes, you know, yeah, what it is. We don't wanna go on the top job, yeah. And the sun dries down. Ooh. Man, I know you wouldn't leave. Oh, don't bring that up, that's gonna get me sentimental. You know I'm sensitive, I got a gentle mental. Every time something happen, they want me sentimental. We had an incident, but I cover incidentals. You want me working on my messaging when I'm thinking like George Jetson, but sounding like George Jefferson. Then they questioning my methods in. If you tweaking out on my text again, then I don't get reception here. I got the mind state to take us past the stratosphere. I use the same attitude that ain't got us here. I live for now, I don't know what happened after here. I live for now, I don't know what happened after here. Plus, what was meant to be was meant to be. Even if publicly I like the empathy, I ain't finna talk about it another 4 centuries. 1 and 1 is 2, but me and you, that's infinity. I don't feel like she's mine enough. God, I feel I couldn't have you wide enough. With a fly in my wrist, you made pretty women out of my skin. And I don't feel like, man, I know you wouldn't leave. For any guy that ever fucked up, ever embarrassed they girl, ever embarrassed they wife, she told you not to do that shit. She told you was gonna fuck the money up, but you ain't wanna listen, did you? Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. Now you testing her loyalty. This what they mean when they say for better or for worse, huh? For every down female that stuck with they dude through the best times, through the worst times. Just for you. Man, I know you wouldn't leave.
Ooh.
I liked that one.
Bit
of a relationship
it's a relationship song. If you're a Village Sori OG, you know what that's about. Go on.
Go on. Okay, so it sounds like it sounds like he's talking about, again, I'm assuming that this is Kim. I did not understand the butterfly in my wrist thing. I understood it to be something, I'm not sure what it means though, because he followed it up with "you make pretty women out of my skin." But it sounds like he's saying he doesn't feel like she's his enough, like he wants her to be more with him, as in, I think, the depth of their relationship, or maybe the security that he feels in the relationship. But he talked about, like, her calling him freaking out because they were about to lose everything. But at the end of the song, he talks about how she says that they shouldn't do a certain thing with their money. So it kind of sounds like he did something with the money, and then he called her freaking out, but he calmed her down.
Well, you're gonna fuck the money up. Is what she was saying to him, because he was saying all this controversial shit during the cancel culture era. Mm-hmm. The cancel culture era is dead, I think. You can't really cancel anybody anymore. Nobody cares anymore.
Yeah, it does kind of seem like that is subsided a bit.
You know, I think I think the definitive proof of that is the song in the background, right? Like the Heil Hitler song. That would have definitely got you canceled back in the cancel culture era.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So he was saying all this crazy, reckless shit during the cancel culture era. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was saying slavery was a choice.
Yeah.
You know, Sway was like, build your own. There was an interview with him and this hip-hop DJ named Sway. And Kanye was complaining about all the forces against him and things like that. And Sway was like, well, build your own. And then Kanye looked at Sway and said, you don't have the answers, Sway. So it was a famous moment. They say, build your own. I said, how, Sway? I said, slavery is a choice. They said, how, yay? Mm-hmm. We talked about that earlier. So my instinct was correct. My instinct was correct. Just imagine if they caught me on a wild day. That's interesting. So he's saying that the slavery was a choice thing. It is interesting too, because this is the other thing about people with mental health issues, is that anytime they say something people don't like, they attribute it, oh, that's your mental health. That's just bipolar talking.
Yeah.
And he's like, imagine if I said that on a wild day, which to me says
he was calm and in his right mind.
This is a thought through idea that he has about the topic.
Yeah.
Right? And it's amazing to me that there wasn't a conversation around, or a follow-up conversation. I think there might have been a follow-up conversation. I'm not sure about what did you mean by that in a genuine good faith sense. Right? And like there's a lot of impact around the concept of slavery being a choice, because it's the ultimate form of empowerment. Because it's like, why do you want to walk around and saying it wasn't a choice? It happened for 400 years. Like he talked about, I don't know where he says, I'm not going to go over this again for 400 years or something like that. And I think that's a reference to, that's how long the children of Israel were enslaved, etc., etc. But just command effort. So it's like, when he said that, I was like, that is a very cool way of recasting the issue for our people. And if you just think about it, yeah, right there. I ain't finna talk about another 4 centuries. Yeah, like if you really, really, really think through the ramifications of what he's saying, I mean, that's a way of, he's trying to empower his people. Because he's saying, like, we're still dealing with the aftershocks of slavery, but if slavery was a choice back then, and rebellion was, and revolt was the only answer, then whatever is happening to us now is a choice if we participate in it, unless we all come together. But unless we have that empowered understanding, we're all going to be, and that's exactly what happened. Like we went on, like look at Kyrie Irving reads this book, and the book says something about people of Ashkenazi descent, and the entire world, how could you say that? How could you quote that book? Blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, Jeff Bezos is selling the book. No responsibility. And the first people that jumped on this dude were black sportscasters. They didn't come around him to protect bro and say, if he was wrong, we'll handle him ourselves.
Yeah.
No, we didn't come out to protect him at all. We just, well, okay, Massa. They don't do that, nor should they. You know what I'm saying? Like, every people should be advancing the agenda of their own people. But it's only us, when shit like that happens, that you get a bunch of black folks that come hat in hand, and these are millionaires who have power in their but as soon they all wind up and try to crucify bro. One of them, Stephen A. Smith, said he should retire. It's like, what are you talking about? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, like,
Yeah.
in his own way, he's trying to galvanize people. But because we're so sensitive as a culture, and because, and it's not just us, but you could broaden it out, we're only used to one narrative about history. And we're only used to one interpretation of history. So when somebody gives an alternate interpretation, immediately you're a crazy person, you're horrible, you need to be canceled, yada 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 yada. You know, and that's why he says, you want me working on my messaging when I'm thinking like George Jetson but sounding like George Jefferson. So George Jetson, the Jetsons are like a futuristic, future technology, move the culture forward, but he's talking like George Jefferson. You know Archie Bunker? George Jefferson was like the black Archie Bunker, basically.
Oh.
So he's saying, I'm thinking like George Jetson, I'm thinking as a forward-thinking person, but when I communicate it, it sounds like an ignorant person. See what I'm saying? So it's I'm thinking futuristically about how to bring things forward in the culture. Yeah. But because I'm communicating it in a way that hurts your sensitivities, you want to crucify this man. See what I'm saying? Then they question my methods then. If you tweaking about my text, then I don't get no reception there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's saying, like, come on, guys, like. And this is where Kim comes in and says, like, you're fucking up the money and you embarrass me and all the rest of it. It's not that he embarrassed her, like cheating on her or something like that. It's that she's associated with a dude who said slavery is a choice. And like they're connected together. So she's calling him going, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I've got this thing. And Kim is a businesswoman. I respect the hell out of Kim Kardashian. So she is thinking about the money. Yeah. Like, that's what she's at, and she understands if you're violating all of these cultural taboos, and if you're making hamburgers out of these sacred cows, this is gonna fuck with our money. You see what I'm saying? So like that
you
to
kind
me
of
was
have
crazy.
to make a decision whether, like, I mean, we had to do that at the beginning of our channel, right? Like when we started doing it, there was a decision to be made. Like, are you gonna keep your religion out of it or not? And it's going to mess with the money if you keep your religion in it. And we made this decision together to keep our religion in. It was part of who we are. And we weren't going to hide that for anybody. And we're not ashamed of Jesus Christ either. So, no, absolutely not. Yeah,
and our politics.
all
we're
of
never
it.
going to stop advocating for babies.
So
never.
there's, like, I understand, Kim's perspective. But at the same time, I do feel a little bit bad for Kanye that he doesn't have, like, someone in his corner that says, yeah, let's F with the money. Because we have an agenda.
Yeah, let's not forget that in the previous song he said after he had a sexual encounter with her, he said he didn't know her by Felicia.
Right. No.
There's only
that's
so
true,
much
that's
that this
true.
poor woman could take.
No,
you know
that's
what I'm
true.
saying?
That's true. Because you would have to be, if you're going to make those sort of decisions, like, you have to be all in it together with each other. Like, if she's gonna sacrifice for your agenda, you absolutely, you can't expect her to sacrifice that when you're disrespecting her like that.
That's what I'm saying.
No, yeah.
Like, at minimum,
Yeah.
he said it was a good line, though. He says, I know 1 + 1 makes 2.
Yep.
But you and I are infinity or something
Yeah,
like that.
I liked that.
That was a
Yeah.
good line. That was a good line. Yo, dude
Right
can
there.
rap. I ain't gonna
1
lie.
and 1 is 2, but me and you, that's infinity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was cute. I like that too.
Yeah, and so it's crazy because in the previous song there was like a line or two about, you know, a very disrespectful line or two to his wife, and then in
Yeah.
this song he's basically saying like
Yeah.
it's a oblong way of saying that he appreciates her though. Because for any guy that's ever fucked up, love me or hate me. Ever embarrass their girl, love me or hate me. Ever embarrass their wife, gone when you miss me. She told you not to do that. She told you you're gonna fuck the money up, but you ain't want to listen, did you? Keep that same energy. Now you testing her loyalty. That what they mean when they say for better or worse, huh? But like,
Yeah.
that's another thing where I'm like, I don't know if the line that he said in the previous song and the things that folks like that do, if it's just like it's like a loyalty test because they're surrounded by so many people who are disloyal to them
Yeah.
that they gotta do certain things to prove like this person is really like this person's like really with me because everybody else around them is a traitor. I understand the logic. I'm sure it makes a lot of sense to him, but like there's only so many go-arounds that a person can deal with. And the song to me is almost low-key manipulative.
That line, and I know you wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that too. Like there was like a cute angle to it, like the ride or die angle, like the, you know, we've been through stuff, we're gonna keep going through stuff, like relationships are difficult, but I got you and you have me. But then I also felt the same way when I heard that line, I know you wouldn't leave, because especially in light of the previous song where he was saying like all this stuff that he's doing, and then he's saying like publicly in a song, I also know that you wouldn't leave. Like, I don't know, I felt a little bit, but you can say more about that, but after that, I need to understand what the butterfly in my wrist, you make pretty women out of my skin. What does that mean?
I don't know. They've got some daughters together.
Oh!
And you know.
Oh, yeah.
So,
You make pretty women out of my skin. Ah, that's cute. Okay. Butterfly in my wrist. I didn't know if the butterfly in the wrist, because you can feel your pulse and stuff in your wrist, and the butterfly, usually there's butterfly in my stomach, so he's saying like in the, you know, I don't know. All right. I liked this one a lot. You got more?
Well, people use the term genius a lot. You know, if you look at Einstein, we look back now, Einstein's a genius, blah, blah, blah. But at the time, man, he was questioning Newtonian physics.
Yep.
Oh, he's crazy. He's this, he's that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And part of me is like, if a person is genuinely a genius, like a person who is that much, I'm not talking about a genius like on paper. I'm talking about like an existential genius, like a once in a generation thinker. It's almost a necessity that they would have to be looked upon as a crazy person because they're so far ahead of everybody and they're seeing things that other people aren't seeing.
Sure.
That they almost have to be looked upon as a crazy person. So, for example, if you say, nigga, Heil Hitler, and you turn it into a song, and then you make the song catchy as hell, you got white people driving down the street saying, nigga, and then you got black people driving down the street saying, Heil Hitler, and it's like, I am completely eradicating this ridiculous thing where people freak out over words. Like, it is over with. And I don't know it.
Especially when we're more upset over words than we are actions. Like, people are more upset over that line than they are about the kids, you know what I mean? Like, I know that there are lots of people.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so it's like, will people look back in 20 and 30 years and say that was a seminal moment where the culture shifted, American culture as a whole shifted, and we really began to talk about, okay, now what are the actual issues between the races or whatever?
Yeah.
How can we
Yeah.
actually move forward instead of like this surface level shit where it's like, oh, I don't use this terminology, you don't use that terminology, so that means that we're both good. It's like, okay, how about we say none of this shit really means anything. They're words, they're syllables, whatever. What is the actual intention
Yeah.
of your heart?
Yes. Yes.
Right? Because that's what a song like Heil Hitler does. Is it makes you say, okay, these people are saying these words, but that can't be the intention. It just can't be the intention. It's also interesting to me anyway. But like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm seeing here. I'm actually glad that I'm actually able to listen to some Kanye like
me too.
straight through and
Me
like,
too.
and especially the rap is the medium because lyrically he, rap is very dense lyrically. Words matter insofar as words reflect the intention of a person's heart. From the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. But what's happened in our culture is we have separated the intention of a person's heart from the words.
Yeah.
And so what we've done is if the person says the right set of words in the
Yeah.
right circumstance, they're now good.
Yeah.
And if a person says the wrong set of words in the wrong circumstance, they're automatically bad. We don't need to look at we don't need to investigate. We don't need to dig under the surface. I had so many well-meaning white liberals talking about how, telling me that I have to vote for Joe Biden because Trump is a racist. And then
Crazy.
Biden came out and said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And I had a non-racist white person say basically, well, he's right. And so it's like, don't you understand what you just did? You, a white person, is now
Yeah.
determining, but because he doesn't say the N-word, he's not a racist.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's the bullshit where it's like, no, you're one of the worst racists I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
Thank God we're on the internet because I'd have probably slapped the shit out of you. But see, if we were not on the internet, there's no way we would have said this shit. There's no way. But that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Is that's how silly and ridiculous and it's made people unable to see their own flaws. Because it's like, hey, no, this is the lexicon. I've never used the term nigger.
Yeah.
I don't call people thugs. I don't believe in deportation. That means I'm not a racist. But I'm going to tell you, black person, what your identity is if you don't vote for the candidate I want you to vote for.
But that's the stuff that like Jesus was
insane.
talking about when he talked about the cup and the inside of the cup being dirty, but the clean is on the
Correct.
outside. Like
Right.
it matters what's going on the inside, and that's why out of the heart the mouth speaks. And different principles that you'll find in Proverbs and in the scriptures is that's ultimately where it's at. It's not about the presentation, the words used. It's about the intention that's behind it, because it's the intentions of men's hearts that have put people's blood on the ground.
Yeah, but secularists think that because they don't believe in God, they don't have a religion. And they're wrong. They absolutely have a religion. They function exactly like religious people.
Everybody has faith in something.
They have their own set of religious rituals and incantations, and they also have blasphemies and punishments for those blasphemies. So, yeah, okay.
9.7.
I'm gonna give this one a solid 9. I like the other song before, but I am starting to respect him as a lyricist.
Yeah, okay.
A bit. I'm starting a bit to respect this man as a lyricist. A tad.
All right, we have Ghost Town featuring Party Next Door again. So let's
Really?
check it
Is
out.
it Party?
Yep.
How do you know it's Party Next Door?
Because I'm the one that typed this up, and I
Oh.
knew when I put this over here and when I put
Yeah, because
featuring,
all I saw
it meant
was
that.
Ghost Town featuring.
Yeah, that's because I was going quickly, and I knew I would know what my own notes meant.
All right.
But if you don't believe me, ask your DJ.
All right.
Check it
Here
out,
we go.
Ghost Town. That's our house at 8 o'clock in the morning.
We live a very interesting life. Here we go. Are you sure it's Ghost Town?
Mm-hmm.
You sure it's not No Mistake?
I don't have No Mistake on the list. Is there? Did I make a
I
mistake
copied
here?
this straight from the email. DJ
Oh
J.
shoot! I must have made a mistake.
DJ J.
Thought about killing you. Yikes. Wouldn't leave. Ghost Town.
So the mistake is on my end. I can't believe
And then
it.
Violent Crimes is next. I don't know. I don't even have one called that.
Really? There's not called No Mistakes?
I don't have No Mistakes on his list of lyrics.
He said you skipped one. What is the next song, sir? What is the next song, DJJ? Tell us. Yikes. How could you vote for that rate? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Wouldn't leave. Next song is...
It's No Mistakes, he's saying is next. Honey, what am I supposed to do?
Thank you, DJJ.
What am I supposed to do?
Thank you, DJJ.
Yeah, we
All right,
wouldn't leave No Mistakes.
134.30 for No Mistakes, okay?
Okay, I don't have the lyrics for that. I'm going to have to get it.
Don't worry about it. I mean, they're right there, right?
No, because I don't have that one in the list.
So he skipped it?
Yeah, it's not there.
He skipped it in his email?
Look, thought I was killing you. Yikes. Wouldn't leave. Ghost Town.
Oh, okay. All right, so
You
let's
can
do...
crucify me on stream if you so desire.
Just do 135 then.
They'll
for the start
hail you
time.
and nail you. What?
You're
What'd you say?
using the wrong email, he says.
Okay, what is it? Yeah, that's what they
Just
all
do
say.
135.